Uh, can you tell us something that we don't know about Magnus Carlsen? And what is Magnus Carlsen to Norway as a whole?
That was a tricky one. I knew him from many sides, I can say, because I have met him many times, and he is very, very professional, of course. Everybody knows that he is, and but what you don't know? I'm not sure if I can say something.
Or any of you who have whatever interactions you have or you have had with him?
Good cook. Magnus the football.
We have to be very careful. Yeah, he is a good football player, and he always wants to win competitions. So if we are trying to have this Norway Chess Games. Vishy was talking about this competition when he was a chef and cooking, and I can say a secret about this what happened there because it was Hollandaise house and it was very good, and Vishy was reading very well and doing very well. But one of the reasons he won that he forgot to put on the heat for the fish. And then it was perfect because he forgot. He had put it into the oven, but he forgot to put on the heat. And then after 10-15 minutes he find out and then put on the heat, and then it was perfect.
Are you saying Vishy won because of a blunder?
Both maybe. But also this competition, it was so strange because he was something happened. Dingley, you know, he was the world champion now before Gukesh, but he and Vishy was on the same team, and Dingley had been outside with a bicycle because this was a day off, and he fell down from the bicycle, and his hip was broken. We didn't know at this time, but he was sitting on a bar stool and helping Vishy with all these things. And after he got to the hospital, he stayed there. But it was, and also Dingley had this, he wanted to win the competition, so he didn't want to leave the competition and go to the doctor. So that's, I think Magnus is like that, and many players are like that. They want to win everything.
Gukesh from India. I want to ask you how you shifted from football to chess. Because you were head of Norwegian football, and suddenly you decided to have yourself involved in Norwegian chess. Was there any particular reason?
It's always something you can learn from different kind of sports. And as I said earlier, I was looking at this chess when I was starting thinking about to do something in chess. I was looking from the outside. And the entertainment things is very, very important, because if you should get more attention, it should be more entertaining. And football is entertaining, and you have fans, and you have people watching, and and want to see this. So that's one of the reasons that I was thinking that we have to do something more into this to get attention from TV and from the press and from normal people also, not only chess people. Chess people also is normal people. Don't misunderstand, but that's very, very important. And Vishwanathan was mentioned a little bit about the tournament and how we do things. But I think, first of all, we have to respect the sport. Always respect the sport. Respect the players and all these things. And then we can start to push a little bit here and a little bit there. But football was, well, it's into my heart. And I was director in the club where one of the most famous football stars is from, Vishwanathan Football Club. Ola, who is playing in National City, was grown up in this club. So it's a very small club, and you learn to do everything. You can't only be a director, you have to do a lot of things. And that's the same thing I learned from football and take into chess.
You know, chess is popular in Norway. What about the other Scandinavian countries? Is it as popular or is it growing? Like Denmark,
Er det
Sweden?
nordiske landene, skandinavisk, eller er det bare Norge?
Yeah, it's growing. It's growing a lot. I think that the most important thing when you should have growing interest in something is that you have someone who is pilot, like Magnus has been in Norway. Many years ago, there was also Simen Akestein in Norway. He was very famous because he was very, very good in chess. He was, I think he was number 16 in the world or something on his best. And he was also a national team player in football. So it was, it had been someone before. But I think that if Denmark and Sweden, and they need to have someone stars. And last year, we had Pia Kamling in the women's tournament. She had been a big star in Sweden in the women's section. And of course, when she is playing Norway Chess, there is a lot of interest also in Sweden. So yeah, it's growing. And in Europe, in many of the countries, Balticum, for example, they will show Norway Chess on TV. So there will be maybe 10 different countries in Europe who will show Norway Chess TV. So it's growing a lot.
You guys being part of the federation, do you have a prediction for Magnus versus Gukesh clash?
Har du prediction på Magnus og Gukesh match?
There will be 2 matches between them because they are, it's 10 rounds and 6 players, so they will play white and black against each other. I don't want to say what I think. It's very, very difficult because everything can happen. Because both of them is so strong, and I think, of course, it will be what happened this day, and also the pressure of the match will mean something. So, well, but it will be very, very interesting, of course, to follow these matches. And it's the first time they meet in classical chess after Gukesh won the championship. So it's a kind of a world champion match. This.
You know, an extension to what Amit asked, he spoke of the evolution of chess in Norway, but not just in terms of the people who are watching it, but the kids who are taking up the sport. How much has that increased since Magnus, and what are the current interest levels of chess in terms of the number of kids who are actually playing the sport in Norway?
Yeah, we from year number 1 in 2013, we was including children and schools in the work we did. So we had education in the schools from Norway Chess side and was giving them education and giving them chess boards and everything for free. And we have every year a school tournament. So the interest is huge. And it's growing a lot. So now we have, well, in the beginning we struggled to fill up this tournament with enough children, enough teams from the schools. But now there is more on the waiting list than we can have. So it's a lot of interest growing. I think it's like in India too. Same.
Yeah, and there's kind of a growing amount as well of chess in schools themselves. You know, it can still be better in Norway, but it's growing as well. You know, more are taking an interest in it, and of course, in addition to this school tournament that we do, which is played on large chessboards in a park, we also have the Norway Chess Open tournament, which is open to all ratings, and we see some pretty young talents there as well. So definitely growing, yeah.
Recording.
Hello. You know, this year we are hearing that there are big plans of having an event in India itself, or something to look at the Indian audiences. Can you just talk about that as a bit?
Yeah, we are always trying to do something new, as I said, and we wanted to reach more audience and do relation with everything and have well, we have done a lot on this, and we have a name now, world very well known name, Norway Chess, all over the world, and we are explore a little bit about what we can do, if it's possible to do a Norway Chess tournament here in India, and that's what we are trying to find out and we want to do. And of course, if we should do that, we need to have partners in India and do a good job to make this happen. So we hope we can find some partners and someone who can help us to bring it to India, maybe already next year.
Great. How can somebody who handles partnerships in a sense wanted to understand how difficult is it? Maybe do you have plans to get in talks with partners? How difficult is that to market chess to Indians now that there are 3 Indians already in the top 10, 1 more in I think top 11, things like that?
Yeah, I think that is the key factor, that you have athletes from your own country that's going towards the peak of the sport. And we already see the interest in India rising a lot. I think our social media handles last year went crazy when Prague beat Magnus. We got over 200 million views, I think, on our social media. And we see already this year that brands are reaching out to see if they can create bespoke content either in India on fan events, or to send some of clients to Norway and create exciting new products within the chess world. So that is very exciting. And what we've seen the last 10 years is that technology has been enabling this fan experience so much more. So it's just the opportunities are very vast. So it's a very exciting, and we hope that brands will reach out to us and we can do many exciting things. So we welcome that, and yeah, it's very nice to share the experience, and Norway Chess represents something which has successfully innovated a lot through the years. I feel it's not easy to innovate in a traditional sport like chess, but Shell has been very unique in that sense, that he has introduced introduced Armageddon, confessional, time control point system, and every single thing that he has introduced has been a success, which I find very remarkable. And I think what we'll see in the future is that things like AI, technology, graphics will make chess much more interesting for the mainstream viewer, and we'll see exciting things coming from Norway Chess already this year. So that's very exciting.
Dia, just to talk about this from a marketing perspective as well. Last year we saw this explosion of marketing opportunities, considering how well, as you mentioned, Prab defeating Magnus kind of opened newer doors. This time there are 2 more Indians who will be obviously taking on Magnus. There's a lot of hunger in their belly. Just talk to us about the marketing opportunities that these kind of contests in particular present.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, last year I think, or currently are on our social media channels, on quite a few of them, our biggest following is India. And this grew exponentially during last year's tournament, and we had very high numbers. And for us to have such numbers as a tournament is very special. You can Chess.com and Chess-Base India, there are more news providers, they cover all the tournaments, but for us as a kind of a single tournament, to have those numbers is amazing. And yeah, I think we're seeing a growing popularity in chess, of course, and amongst the young audience, which is very positive for us. And and this year, we're trying to better ourselves. We have an even bigger social media team. There's a lot of opportunities with influencers that we're exploring, mainstream audience, there's a lot of documentaries coming out. Not to say anything concretely, but there's just a lot of the opportunities going forward. And also a more engaged audience. The chess audience is very engaged, which is amazing for us.
Shel, Agne spoke about this. He said that you always try to innovate year after year. Last year, I think there was this path-breaking moment where you decided that the women's tournament and the open event both will have equal prize money. Just talk to us about that and the thought behind that, because we've known that chess is something that likes to stick to its tradition. Sometimes they don't want to change too much. But then for you to come in and decide in I think, very early on in the tournament in that sense, that you want to do this. Can you just talk about why that thought came?
Well, it's many reasons, of course, but if we should develop women chess, they need to have something to look up to. And if they should have something to look up to, there should be there is already a lot of women stars in chess, but they have much the prize money and everything is much lower, and of course it's not easy to get more talent to play chess and if you don't do anything on the top. So we have to do a lot for girls in chess to build this, and that's been done for many years. But if we should go to new heights, we have to do something also on the top. And of course, there have been a lot of discussions about this because you have the difference in rating and all these things. But for us, it's important to show the world that we mean this seriously, and we want to get more chances to girls and to women in chess. So that's the reason, and of course, if we get more attention from women, there is much more viewers. That's also a good reason.
Great. Last year you had 3 Indians, this year you have 4. How difficult is it for you as an organizer, as a chess promoter or event organizer, to decide which Indians to invite and more importantly which Indians to leave out? Because last year Arjun, Gukesh, I mean obviously maybe not because of you inviting, because they had other commitments. This year you probably had to decide which of the 3 to invite. Just talk to us about that decisions that happen before 6 months before you are sending out invites to players.
Yeah, I try to see a little bit in the future, of course, see what will happen. But first of all, we need to have attention from the whole world. So we need to have players from the big countries like China, India, US, and of course from Europe. And then we want to have a very, very strong tournament. That's our goal all the time. A kind of a Champions League in chess. And then we have to see where are they on the rating list. And also if there is young players who are on their way up and they are interesting players, maybe they are playing a kind of chess which is very interesting for the viewers. And we are thinking about things like that. And also we try to invite, well, it could be very equal between two players from India or something, and not always take the same and try to figure out who is the best to invite this year. But we are thinking a lot about this, and I can also say that we get a lot of questions from players who want to be participants in Norway Chess. They want to be there. Also top 10 players asking, and sometimes we have to say no, we can't, because we have already enough players from this country or something. So it's difficult, but it's very funny.
Great. Just one last question from my side before I throw the floor to the journalists. Last year we saw that there was a broadcast partner for Norway Chess in India. Do you also have plans this time around to have, a broadcast partner?
Yeah, we have, last year we had 3 TV studios on site, and we want to have the same this year, and we want to let people in India, and people in China, and people in Europe have the possibility to see the whole tournament. So yes, there will be something, so we will come back to that soon, I think.
Yeah, I just want to add that we have these 3 TV studios at the venue, and one of them is our own, because of course we also have ChessCom, but their stream is very technical for the very kind of hardcore chess fans. So what we did is we introduced this pilot for Norway Chess, and which streamed in India amongst other countries. And yeah, this is kind of something we're doing this year as well. And yeah, we're still exploring possibilities.
Right, so simplifying chess for people who maybe don't understand.
Yes, so we're trying to kind of introduce more stories and simplifying kind of the way we talk about chess through this broadcast, to reach those new audience.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was mentioned that Vishwanathan will be the expert commentator on all days of this year as well.
Yeah, he will finish. Question. Right. On behalf of the Sports Journalists Association of Mumbai, I thank you all for being here. Especially thank you to all 3 of you for coming here all the way from a city that is 8 degrees Celsius right now to a city that is 33 degrees Celsius. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time out to come with us.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to present some mementos to the delegates from the Norway Chess Association. I call upon Mr. Stavanger, Vice President of SJAM, to kindly present a memento to Mrs. Shell Pregnant. I call upon Clayton Marzalo, Secretary of Sports Journalists Association of Mumbai, to kindly present a memento to Mr. Hockney. Joint Secretary SJAM, to kindly present a memento to Dia Mayoli Egeli. Last but not the least, I call upon Gaurav Gupta to present memento to Amit Kamath, who moderated it so beautifully. Thank you very much once again to all the panelists and comments. Thank you in the lovely audience. You can all kindly join us for snacks.
Can you just guys be seated while we want a photo from you? You guys just be seated for 1 minute. We just want a photo from you.
Tell them what to wear, first thing.